Ava Carter stood at the back of the grand ballroom, her fingers curled around a slim champagne flute she hadn't wanted. The beige dress clung tightly to her waist, the fabric stiff against her chest. "You'll wear it. It suits you," Gloria had insisted earlier that day, her stepmother's words as sharp as the pins used to fasten Ava's hair. The dress didn't suit her. It wasn't meant to. It was meant to erase her, to make her disappear into the wallpaper. "Blend in, shut up, don't ruin Jason's big night," Gloria had added with a clipped smile. And so Ava had stood still, invisible. It was her brother Jason's 5th wedding anniversary. Every guest wore something glitzy. Every smile looked polished. Laughter floated through the air with the music from a live quartet tucked in a corner. Her father, Robert, was deep in conversation with the mayor. Natalie, Jason's picture-perfect wife, accepted compliments with gentle nods. And Gloria! Well, Gloria tossed her laugh around like confetti, light and artificial. Ava stood on the edge of it all like she always did. "Smile, Ava," someone said while passing her. She did, briefly, but her hands trembled. Then a strange sensation crept in. It started with a heaviness in her limbs. Her grip on the glass loosened, and her vision wobbled slightly. Ava blinked, her heart rate quickening. "Not drunk," she whispered to herself. She hadn't even finished the drink. Just a few polite sips. But something felt wrong. She set the glass down on a nearby tray, her fingers brushing her forehead. "Too hot," she muttered. She needed air or a moment to breathe, anything but this. She turned toward the hallway leading to the restrooms. That's when a woman stepped into her path. The woman had sharp eyes and auburn hair twisted into a professional bun. She wore a sleek black blazer and walked like someone who noticed everything. "Are you Ava Carter?" she asked. Ava froze. "Yes, why?" The woman leaned in, her voice low and urgent. "Your stepmother dropped something in your drink." Ava stared at her, confused. "What?" "I saw her. She stirred something into it. Looked like it dissolved instantly. I'm private security. My name is Elise Monroe. This wasn't an accident." Ava's breath caught in her throat. "I've already taken a few sips." Elise glanced down the hallway. "Okay, listen to me. If you can swap that glass, do it. Make it look casual. Don't panic. Don't drink another drop." She handed Ava a small card. "If anything happens, call me. I'll testify. I know what I saw." Ava held the card tight as she nodded. Her heart pounded like a war drum in her chest. She didn't know if she should scream or run, but instead, she walked calmly back to her table, just like Elise said, calm, unshaken, as if nothing had changed. Gloria was laughing with the photographer, her back turned. 2 glasses sat on the table. One was Ava's, the other was Gloria's. They were nearly identical. With one breath and no hesitation, Ava made the switch. Her glass for Gloria's. One motion. Smooth. Silent. She picked up the fresh one, pretending to take a sip. Nobody noticed. Nobody blinked. Ava's legs felt like jelly as she sat. She waited. She counted the seconds. Then came her father's voice from the stage, tapping his glass. "To love, loyalty, and legacy." The room hushed as Robert Carter raised his glass. His voice, firm and rehearsed, carried over the clinking of cutlery and the soft hum of the quartet. "To love," he began, "which builds our homes. To loyalty, which binds our family. And to legacy, which ensures we're never forgotten." Glasses lifted. Ava's hands stayed steady. Across the table, Gloria smiled, wide and controlled, then lifted her champagne. Her eyes locked onto Ava's as she brought the glass to her lips. Ava didn't look away. She couldn't. This was the moment. One sip. That's all it took. Gloria's mouth twitched at the corner, barely noticeable. She lowered the glass, blinked too slow. Her fingers trembled. The flute slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. Someone gasped. A fork clattered onto a plate. Ava didn't move. She sat frozen as Gloria swayed, like a puppet cut from its strings. Then, suddenly, Gloria dropped, hard, crumpling in a heap on the marble floor. Her legs kicked once. Her breathing came in short, sharp bursts. The music stopped, and the room erupted into screams. Natalie cried out, clutching her chest. Jason jumped to his feet, knocking over his chair. Waiters scrambled, one slipping on the spilled champagne. Robert stood still, his speech cut mid-toast, eyes wide as he watched his wife convulse. "Call an ambulance," someone shouted. "Get help." The room descended into chaos. Guests clustered together, whispering. But Ava remained where she was, calm, still. Not from shock, from certainty. She had seen the truth unfold in front of her, and she knew that glass had been meant for her. The ambulance arrived within 10 minutes. Red and blue lights poured across the white stone pillars of the estate, flashing like warning sirens in a dream. Gloria was barely conscious now, her limbs twitching weakly. Foam gathered at the edge of her lips. "We need to move her," a paramedic barked. Ava stood back, silent, watching as Gloria was wheeled out on a stretcher. The flashing lights reflected off the ballroom chandeliers, turning everything surreal. It was chaos, but for the first time in years, Ava wasn't afraid. Jason barked orders at staff like they had spilled wine instead of hosting a possible crime scene. Natalie sobbed into her mother's arms. Robert leaned against a wall, gripping his whiskey glass so tightly his knuckles turned white. Ava looked at him. He didn't return her gaze. No one asked if she was okay. No one noticed she hadn't cried. The police arrived shortly after. 2 officers, calm and professional, began asking questions. Ava watched them carefully. She knew what was coming, and she was ready. "Miss Carter," an officer asked, stepping toward her. Ava looked up. "Were you sitting near the champagne?" She nodded. "Yes, we all were." "Did you notice anything unusual about Gloria's glass?" Ava hesitated, then shook her head. "Not until she collapsed." The officer nodded, jotting down notes. Ava knew the glass would be tested, and it would speak. She also knew that Gloria's collapse wasn't random. It wasn't a heat spell or too much to drink. That poison, whatever it was, had a story to tell, and Ava had just begun hers. The next morning, Ava didn't sleep. She sat curled on her small couch in her midtown apartment, the champagne still haunting her taste buds. Her phone buzzed beside her. Dozens of messages. Her cousin, Liv, had sent one word, trending. Ava frowned, opened her inbox, and clicked the first link. A video was circulating. Someone had filmed the exact moment Gloria collapsed. It showed her sipping the glass, laughing, then falling. But the camera panned right, capturing Ava, motionless, unbothered, silent, cold. The comments were merciless. She didn't even flinch. Did anyone else see that stare between her and the stepmom? Chilling. Gives psychopath vibes. Ava shut her phone off. She wasn't surprised. Being the black sheep of a wealthy, white-collar family meant everyone already expected her to be the problem. They were just looking for proof. A call came around noon. The number was local. She answered without thinking. "Ava Carter," a crisp female voice asked. "This is Detective Marissa Keene. We'd like you to come down to the station. We need to speak with you again." Ava didn't hesitate. "Sure, I'll be there." The police station smelled like stale coffee and paper. Ava sat in a beige interrogation room across from Keene, who studied her with unreadable eyes. A manila folder lay between them. "We have the toxicology results," the detective said evenly. Ava gave a quiet nod. "Okay." Keene opened the folder. "Scopolamine," she said. "Not a deadly dose, but enough to cause dizziness, confusion, memory loss, or even unconsciousness depending on the person's reaction." Ava didn't blink. "I believe that. I think that glass was meant for me." Keene's fingers paused on the edge of the file. "You believe it?" Ava looked her in the eye. Yes. I didn't drink the whole glass. I started to feel weird, dizzy, and that's when someone stopped me. Her name's Elise Monroe. She's private security. She saw Gloria drop something into my drink. Keen's brow lifted. You have her information? Yes. Ava reached into her bag and slid Elise's card across the table. She's willing to speak if needed. Keen nodded slowly. Why do you think your stepmother would want to drug you? Ava leaned forward, voice calm. Because she knows I found out the truth. She's not entitled to anything from my mother's estate. And I can prove it. Keen's lips parted, intrigued. Explain. Ava did. She told her about the letter she received 2 months earlier, postmarked from Savannah. It was from her late mother's lawyer. Inside was a copy of the prenuptial agreement between her mother and father. One clause stood out. If Robert remarried, the new spouse forfeited all rights to anything connected to Ava's mother's estate. She must have found out I knew, Ava said, because she changed, started inviting me to things she never included me in before. She even sent me that beige dress for the party. Her choice, not mine. That was never kindness. It was bait. Detective Keen looked at her for a long moment. You understand how this could look from the outside? Ava nodded. I do. You swapped the glasses. She drank what was meant for you. That's motive to some people. If she wakes up and twists the story, then I'll need to be ready, Ava finished. I'm not hiding anything. I didn't poison her. I just didn't die quietly like she wanted. Keen closed the folder. We'll need a statement from Elise Monroe, and we'll need that letter officially submitted. Ava nodded. You'll have both. She walked out of the station that day with her head high and her heart pounding. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about exposing the lie her family had polished into perfection. The truth was coming, and she wouldn't stop it. Her phone rang before she reached her apartment. Jason's name lit the screen. She let it ring twice before answering. Ava, his voice snapped. What the hell did you tell the police? She kept walking. The truth. There was a pause. Do you have any idea what you've done? She tried to drug me, Jason. You don't know that. I do. Elise saw it, and I felt it. Jason exhaled sharply. Don't push this. You're going to regret it. I already did. Every time I let you people silence me. Ava visited her mother's old lawyer the next day. The office smelled like lemon oil and aging files. She handed him the sealed letter. I want it made official. I want to move forward. He read it silently, his brow furrowed. After several tense minutes, he looked up. This changes everything. Ava nodded. I know. If we file this, Gloria stands to lose everything that came from your mother's wealth. Properties, vehicles, accounts, even some business assets. She knows that, Ava said. That's why she tried to stop me first. 3 days later, Gloria was released from the hospital. Ava didn't hear a word from her, but a legal notice arrived. Gloria was accusing her of defamation and intentional harm. Ava stared at the envelope and smiled faintly. She's scared, she thought. Good. The next Carter family event was meant to be a quiet garden brunch. Ava wasn't invited. She went anyway. She walked into her father's estate with purpose. Jason's eyes widened. Robert's expression hardened. And then Gloria walked in, pale, slow, shaken. Hello, Gloria, Ava said softly. Gloria didn't reply. She sank into a chair across the room, her hand trembling slightly as she adjusted her scarf. Ava stepped forward. How's your memory doing these days? Still foggy, Gloria replied. Her voice was tight, controlled. Robert stood. Ava, let's not do this here. She ignored him. Because mine's crystal clear, and so is Elise's. And the prenup. Jason slammed his glass onto the table. You're going to tear this family apart. Ava looked him straight in the eye. No, I'm going to reveal who already did. 2 days later, Gloria retaliated with an interview. A glossy charity gossip site published it. Gloria Carter speaks out, betrayed by my husband's troubled daughter. She painted herself as a loving wife blindsided by a bitter stepdaughter, claimed memory loss, and hinted Ava had emotional problems. She never mentioned the prenup. She never mentioned Elise. Just tears, smoke, and misdirection. Ava read every word, jaw clenched. The comments were cruel. Another jealous brat. She's mentally unstable. But this time, Ava wasn't alone. Elise called her that night. You saw the article? Elise asked. Every line. You ready to go public? Ava hesitated. What would that look like? Elise didn't flinch. I have footage, transcripts, a clear view of her dropping something into your glass. I've already pulled clips from security. This wasn't impulsive. It was planned. She even talked to the server, who mysteriously disappeared after. Let's release it, Ava said. No commentary, no accusation, just evidence. Elise nodded. I know someone. Independent journalist. Clean, fair, and he owes me a favor. They met in a downtown cafe. Elise handed over the flash drive and a printed timeline. Once this drops, there's no going back, she said. You'll be a headline again, but this time with power behind it. Ava sipped her coffee. Let them talk. By afternoon, the video was posted. It showed Gloria at the event, glancing around, dropping something into Ava's glass, stirring. Another angle showed her whispering to the server, who swiftly disappeared. No dramatic music. Just facts. Within an hour, #what was in the glass was trending again. The internet turned fast. That's a pill. She's calm before the fall. Where's that waiter now? Ava's inbox exploded. Questions, interviews, curious journalists. But she didn't reply to any of them. She waited. Her phone rang again. Her father. She let it ring 4 times. Ava, Robert said, voice low. We need to talk. Then talk. I didn't know about the prenup. If I had, nothing would have changed. She cut in. You stood by while she erased me. You knew it. You just didn't stop her. What do you want? He asked. Ava's voice didn't shake. The truth made public. Gloria out of my mother's house, and everything that was supposed to be mine with interest. Silence. Then, come by tomorrow. We'll talk terms. Ava hung up, not because she needed his permission, but because, for the first time in her life, she was no longer begging for space at their table. She was carving her own. And this was just the beginning of the reckoning they never saw coming. Ava arrived at the estate the next morning, just after sunrise. The sky was a pale peach, the same color as the tailored dress she wore, the exact shade Gloria once forced on her years ago. Only this time, Ava had chosen it. It fit perfectly, clean, powerful. When the butler opened the door, he blinked in surprise. She walked past him without pause. The house felt colder than she remembered, but also smaller, as if the weight it once held over her had finally collapsed. Robert waited in the dining room, slouched at the head of the table like a man who'd just discovered his kingdom was built on rot. He didn't say much, just pushed a thick folder across the polished wood. Ava opened it slowly. Her breath caught. Inside were signed transfer agreements. Her mother's trust, reinstated. Ava's name, listed as sole inheritor. Every property tied to her mother's name, including the house they sat in, returned. She left last night, Robert said quietly. Didn't say where she was going. Ava didn't ask. She already knew. Gloria ran, like cowards always do when their lies stop working. She closed the folder. You should have protected me, she said. Robert nodded. I didn't try hard enough. He didn't offer an apology, and Ava didn't ask for one. Within a week, the house was officially hers. The one her mother had built. The one Gloria had gutted with designer furniture and fake paintings. Ava had it deep cleaned. She reopened rooms that had been sealed. She brought back the garden her mother once tended. even replanted the lilac bushes Gloria let wither. And when she found boxes of old photographs, the ones Gloria had stuffed in the attic, she placed them in silver frames across the mantel. Her mother's face, her handwriting, her smile. Ava didn't post about it, didn't throw parties or make announcements. She just existed quietly exactly where she belonged. And that, she knew, was the loudest revenge of all. Like and subscribe to my channel for more contents like this, and let us know where you are watching from under the comment section.